So we back with another video, man. Season 6 is here. Y'all know what we gotta do. Best animations in the game. We gotta go over it. I haven't looked at nothing. Haven't seen nothing. I know there's a new cap breaker. We gonna get into all that and more in this video. Y'all do want more of these. Y'all know what's in this. Animations for every single thing, no matter what build you are. We're gonna go over the new season. Tmac is on the cover, so Tmac, I'm sure his animations are in the game. A lot of people gonna be happy about his jump shot. Y'all want more of these? Like the video, subscribe, support any kind of way you can. Comment down below. I know y'all gonna be trying to help. I really do appreciate when y'all do that. I tried to make sure to cover everything y'all be putting in the comments in the video as well. But if there's anything I missed, put in the comments down below. Without further ado, though, let's hop into it.
Let's go!
Alright, season 6, 100 overall. Tim Duncan in the season? Interesting. Alright, let's get into it though. Cat breaker. Okay, let's see. Okay, John Wall. You got the little Hall of Fame. I'm gonna just continue though. And then, okay, so we get a t-shirt. You get a diamond Luca. I don't even know what that means. I guess it can go to the pink diamond. Ascension picks, Dame. Don't really care about none of this, to be real. Okay, you get your first little accessory boost at level 8. Overdrive is back. Rainbow eyes. Interesting. Drone teleport technology. Oh, so they brought back the teleport thingy. Okay. I wonder how that's gonna work though, to be honest. I guess we'll have to just wait and see. First max badge +1. Oh, they got boosted Rex socks now. Interesting. Dreads with jewelry. Interesting. They got a Jimmy Butler Heat banner. By the way, brother is not on the Heat, so that's kind of funny. But shout out to 2K. KD book banners. Dang, you get mad. Okay, so I'm guessing you get one random one, because that's crazy. That's a crazy reward if you get all 6. So I'm guessing it's one though in 2K. Cargo shorts. It's not much in this, I'm not gonna lie. Cat breaker, which is pretty much the only reason for the season at this point. And a match badge +1s, I guess. It looked like you got 2 mascots with the top one. So I guess. Well, let's get into the animations though. It don't look like you get much this season in this rap, to be honest. But it's kind of what it's been the past couple seasons. Alright, let's get into the new animations. Alright, so T-Mac, I'm guessing gonna have a new jump shot. They have had random stuff in certain seasons where they give us a random thing. Let's see if they do that this season. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be T-Mac stuff though. Is it exactly how it was? It is. C time and stability, D+ speed. It got the A+ height, B+ immunity, or not? Yeah, I guess yeah. I'm not looking at that. Okay, dunk styles. There's no new layups for the people that want that. Is there a T-Mac dunk? It is, and it is free. Only need 84 and 64 and B. You can be a guard. A small guard can use it. Wait, could a small guard use the jump shot? Or was it just swings? Usually when they do these little animation stuff, it's only for, it all kind of is the same, actually. No, only swings, I was gonna say. And that's it? Okay, so they got SIG. You get a SIG size up with it. Let's see what it look like. Okay. That joint look kind of trash. A Cashapp. Regular breakdown. Look pretty bad. A Cashapp. Aggressive breakdown. Okay, this don't look that bad. It go forward too, so that don't look that bad. And then there's nothing else. Wow. Yeah, wow. I'm not gonna lie, they didn't really do. I mean, people gonna be happy because the jump shot in the game, but not even a bit. Pretty underwhelming. Pretty underwhelming. Let's get into the animations though. Hopping into it. Alright, so hopping into it. When it comes to jump shots, I kind of gloss over some important things. Sometimes I'm not even gonna lie. Shot timing profile. I run high risk. If you struggle shooting on this game, I would personally recommend normal or low. Based off what I go against, when I try it for myself, if I'm not greening, I'm bricking. But when I play against people, they making whites. I played against a dude that went 8 for 9 with low risk hitting whites. I had to look at bro's stuff. He didn't even have high ratings. I don't know. The RNG in this game is at an all-time high. Don't get me started on how I feel about 2K25. But the shot timing profile is there to help people that do struggle with shooting. So if you struggle with shooting, the more you struggle with it, the lower I would have it on. Real play percentage you cannot use online, so do not worry about that. Difficulty base is just going to be based off the game mode you're playing. So I would really more so go low risk, normal, or high. High if you really know your jump shot. Normal if you're not super consistent. And low if you just cannot shoot. Simple as that. Alright, and here, the shot timing visual cue. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully, I be forgetting. Hopefully, I put this in the video. But the shot timing visual cue is so important. I was finna say something crazy. I be changing this a lot. At one point I'll be set point. When I tested all the stuff, I went from push to set point. I'm back to release. I'm telling you, only when I really don't mess with that much is jump. But what I'll say is, you gotta understand how all these work. So I'm gonna put what Mike Wang himself said for how these work in terms of the shot visual cue and how you're supposed to be timing these jump shots on NBA 2K25. Because this is genuinely exactly how you're supposed to be timing it. It's not based off muscle memory. They change and fluctuate, but what is gonna be the same every single time is that visual cue when you gotta release X, rhythm shoot, whatever it is, for when you're trying to time your jump shot. Simple as that.
Jump is the point where your player's toes leave the floor. Set point is when the ball is raised up above the head before the shooting motion begins. Push, which is the default setting, is when the shooting motion is underway and the ball is being pushed forward. And release is the point just before the ball leaves the shooter's hand.
And then last but not least, you gotta understand if you wanna use meter or not. I personally would recommend not using meter. When my friends get the game and they kinda don't know their jump shot, I kinda tell them to use meter. But I do feel like this year, no meter is nice to have. But if you have to put on meter to get used to your jump shot, I would put on meter so that you can start getting used to it, because the entire point of visual cue is just the jump shot meter, but it's just your player. If you can't really get used to the shot visual cue, I even sometimes be considering putting meter on. I never really do it, but yeah, sometimes I ain't gonna lie. Jump shot meter is nice to have. So if you don't want that extra little 15% shooting boost, I believe it is 15 to 20% shooting boost it gives you without having meter, I would advise using the meter. Now, when it comes to the meter, I do use dial. I use this for my dunks, but I've been meaning to change that to arrow. So I'm gonna actually do that mid video. But yes, that is what I use. Now let's get to the jump shots. All right, so let's get into the jump shots. Now, when it comes to the jump shots, I'm gonna break these down in different ways. I'm gonna give y'all a couple jump shots for the guards, a couple jump shots for the swings, a couple jump shots for the bigs. But the most important part that you gotta understand are the releases and the time visual cue. So every single jump shot is a custom jump shot. But I'm not gonna lie, if you troll the little blend on the custom jump shot, you control the jump shot. If you troll the blending, you control the jump shot. It's a lot of ways you can really troll the jump shot on this game. So I'm gonna make sure I cover that right, so that if you do copy the exact jump shots, you'll have the understanding of how to use these jump shots. So let's get into the guards. Let's start it off. The smooth, the Luka Doncic, Stephen Curry release, and you can go 60-40. Now, guard jump shots, basis wise. Let's just go ahead and hop straight into it, not waste nobody time. I got rankings of these. As of right now, my favorite guard jump shot in the game is Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony is knocked down. I'm not gonna lie, out of all the jump shots for guards, for me right now, probably gotta have the best green window. Only issue I got with it, it'll like stack, it'll like stagger, it'll give you like trash animations sometimes. But I'm not gonna lie, the green window is so nice on it, I'm not gonna cap. is my favorite jump shot right now. Now, outside of just that jump shot, there's still other great jump shots for guards. Guards has a plentiful. Mills, that's a high rating. Cam Thomas, that's a high rating. Kyle Lowry is somewhere between. Landry Shamet, somewhere in between. Banton is a little low. Now, Banton is perfect for this release combination. Luka Doncic, Stephen Curry, and to go alongside it, I actually use it on release. Banton is one of the fastest bases in the entire game. Release speed max, and then I go 60-40 on the animation blending. Let's get into another combination. Now I told y'all, Cole Anthony is my favorite jump shot in the game. The way I run Cole Anthony, Luka Doncic, Oscar Robinson, and then I go push. Now I've been doing push all year, where I pretty much just put it on the push. I've been doing set point all year, where I just put it on the set point. I'm here to tell y'all, you put that little bit off, it's gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be this inconsistent visual cue for whatever reason. It's gonna be perfect. Now I had tested this out where I would put it in the middle, take it a notch below. I never tried just like one tap above it, where it's like this. And it's not gonna be perfectly in the right placement, but if you try to do one tap above push in the custom, for me personally, that's the perfect one for you if you want to do visual cue, where it's like as soon as he's like pulling it back and he's gonna go forward, that's when you release it. And that's gonna work for any jump shot you use with this combination of releases and with this push and 30-70 blend. Now, I do use Cole Anthony with this, but I also use a lot of other jump shot bases with this. So, Patty Mills, the Cam Thomas, the Kyle Lowry, the Landry Shamets, all are very good with this base. The KPJs. Let's go ahead and just get through all the bases. Russell Westbrook, Jamal Murray, and I got an underrated one for a very low rating build that I made just to test certain things out. And yeah, let's get into that. So the last jump shot, this is for the low. Now, low 3 ball, I'm not talking about 83. I'm talking about literally, if you think about the lowest you would go in the game, if you want to have a good, like just the regular green window. Apparently the green window don't change from this rating all the way to something in the 80s. So that's just why I did it. I did it to test it out. THT. Now, I don't know if it's 62 or 63, but I just know it's somewhere in the 60s. And I've been testing it out, and I've been using this joint green bean on a 63 3 ball. This build don't have a 63 3 ball, obviously. But the build I made it for has a 63 3 ball, and I've been using it. And yeah, I'm only on this build to showcase all the jump shots, if that makes sense. But THT, Terrence Davis, Oscar Robinson. Terrence Davis is pretty much like the supplement for the Luka Doncic. And then you still got the Oscar, and you still gonna do the push the same way I just said, where it's like a notch above and very quick, so max release speed. But the thing is, with the blending, I had to blend it so I could actually use the jump shot. When you go 63, you can't really use much. I only had like 4 bases, and pretty much every base, you really can't use any releases. But I had to find a way where I can use the best base of the 4 and still get either Oscar or Luka, and then be able to get the rest. So what I had to do was, I got Oscar, I got the best base of the 4 jump shots they gave me that was available, and I put it to very quick, and I got my push. I just had to do the blending to make it fit together, and that's how this ended up coming to be. So yeah, that's the best jump shots in the game for guards at any price point. So whether you want to be the lowest rating to really be able to green consistently or a 99, it doesn't really matter. All right, so we following the same thing we did for the guards over here with the swings. Now for the swings, it's something I gotta really break down because there's a jump shot that's very similar to another jump shot. So let's get into it. So when it comes to the swings, we got a couple different releases. We just gonna go through this real smooth. First base, I don't really think this is the best base in the game anymore for swings, honestly. I love Ray Allen still, but I do think there's another one. I'll be switching back and forth. I'll switch back and forth between these 2 bases all year, so they're both amazing. You could really argue these are the 2 best bases in the game, to be honest, even better than any of the guard ones. I'm not gonna lie. The only issue with swings is they kind of got trolled on the dribble animations compared to the guards, but that's tough for another day. But Ray Allen, Luka Doncic, Oscar Robinson, very quick, 70-30, and like I said, you're gonna go that notch above on push. So if I went right here, it would have been, I guess I could have went here, but I wanted a little bit more space. So I actually did 2 notches. So this would be pushed technically, I guess, and then there would be a notch above would be here, and then this would be right there. So this is exactly what it did. It would be 2 notches above, I guess. And then max release speed and animation blending. This is how I run the jump shot. This is one of the most well-rounded jump shots in the entire game. Now, in my opinion, the best base in the game, I'm gonna go over that after this because I actually want to go over the jump shot that's very similar to Ray Allen that you can get at a way cheaper price point. So this is pretty much the exact same jump shot, except it has F time stability, and that's Leandro Balmero. I ain't gonna lie, somebody in my comments told me, if you don't know who that is, you don't watch basketball. I'm not gonna lie, I watch mad basketball. I ain't never heard of bro, ever. So maybe I'm tripping. One day I'll really just look bro up and see who this is. But yeah, until then, I could care less. But he got a good jump shot in the game because he has the same jump shot as Ray Allen. The only thing is, it's like slightly different. So let's show you guys. So Ray Allen is low-key faster. This one is slightly slower, and it does a little bit like, got like subtle differences. But for the most part, it's the exact same jump shot, just slower. But you have an F stability that can kind of mess it up sometimes too. But you got to think about it. You're not making it to have a high rating. You're making this jump shot so that you can be able to use it on lower rated builds. So you pretty much can get Ray Allen on lower rated builds because you can use this on a 73 3-ball rating or mid-range rating. So yeah, push, notch above, and then you got the release speed 70-30 Oscar Luka. Simple as that. Now, for the other jump shots, Matt Ryan, Luka Doncic, Oscar Robertson, very quick 70-30. I honestly think this is the best combination you can do in the game as of right now. I do have another combination of releases to go over, but for the most part, I do think this is the best combination you can do. And Matt Ryan had to be on here because I do believe that is the best base in the game. The reason why I showed Ray Allen and Balmero is because those are arguably, or Ray Allen is arguably the best base, but you can also use Balmero on lower rated builds and still pretty much have Ray Allen. So I had to make sure I showcase how similar those was as well. But yeah, I really do like Matt Ryan as my favorite base in terms of the swings in the game right now. So if you do want to use either one, this one is actually cheaper, by the way. It does have a lower time stability compared to Ray Allen, so if you care about stuff like that, then that could be your difference. And then last but not least, Delano Banton. I'm not gonna lie, Delano Banton, in terms of being a lock, guard swings, I'm not gonna cap, brother. This joint knocked down. And to replace the Curry, I did Contavious Caldwell-Pope. The Oscar it's like a little too long armed, and it kind of will slow the jump shot down somewhat. So I like going with something a little smoother on the back end. So I do still go my 40-60 like I do on the guards. Max release speed. We're literally using release because that's just smoother and better for Delano Banton because it's so fast, and that is the jump shots for swings. Now, let's go over the bases I didn't really cover. So, I went over Matt Ryan, that's the best base, Ray Allen. I went over the off-brand Ray Allen with the Balmero. We went over Delano Banton right here. Jarrett Culver, if you want to supplement for tmac, Jarrett Culver is the base for you. Clyde Drexler, Kevin Huerter. Those are the bases, those are the jump shots, those are the everything for the swings in NBA 2K25. All right, and then last but not least for the jump shots for the swings, I got two more because it's a new jump shot. So I had to record this for y'all boys. Tracy McGrady. If I was to use it, T-Mac, Luka, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, very quick, 60-40 towards KCP and release. This is that version. Now, if this was a guard, we could have did the Curry. I know a lot of y'all like the Curry-Luka combo release. The best one I found for the swings was KCP, personally, in terms of going release. If you are to go release, but if you want to go any other way, in my opinion, the best way to go is T-Mac, Luka, Oscar. Very quick, 70-30. Now, when I put it on push, I go a notch above. I make sure to have it exactly like this. If I was to go set point, I would try to have it as far away from it, like as far as this is from push, I would have it like that on set point. I would have it like that on jump. It's just like that on this game where it feel like it fits the visual cue that I'm going for more than anything. So yeah, that's the jump shots. That's releases for the swings. All right, and last but not least, I ain't gonna lie. At one point, I had the bigs in a clutch. If it was a big animation, big build, it was a hit item. Y'all been lacking a little lately, but I'ma still give y'all the right for this video. So let's go ahead and hop straight into it. So hopping into it, we got 3 different jump shots. I believe they all got 3 different releases, but they all gonna be at 3 different price points for the most part. So let's get into it. So best and low, that's the Bismack Biyombo. In my opinion, this is my favorite jump shot in the game. Jaren Jackson Jr., Gigi Jackson, very quick, 60-40, and I do use it on release. In my opinion, For bigs, this is my favorite jump shot in the game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I know how low a rating it is. I know it has an F time stability. But for me, it's the smoothest, for me, big man jump shot in the game. And it's been like that for a couple seasons now. I think since I've really tested all the bases for bigs, that it's been like this. So yeah, Bismack Biyombo, my favorite jump shot in the game. Now, obviously, if you was paying attention, like the Stephen Curry, Luka combo, this is pretty much that supplement, but for big men. So this is that alteration, and I do have it released. So when I do go release speed, I do this combination. When I do the push, I go the other combination. Hopefully, people have been picking up on that by now, but if you haven't, don't know what to tell you. Now, popular. Every single time I do a big man jump shot video, people will look at me crazy because why do I not have Jonathan Isaac? So here you go. Jonathan Isaac apparently is the best base in the game by far for bigs. I personally don't like it. So I personally don't recommend stuff I don't like. Personally, that's a personal thing. But if I'm gonna include this, I'm gonna include this because y'all want it. So Jonathan Isaac, Kevin Durant, Michael Porter Jr. very quick. So this is pretty much similar to like the Luka Doncic, Stephen Curry, Luka Doncic, Oscar Robertson combination that I was doing on a couple of other builds. And then you got the push where you got the notch above like I was doing on the other builds, and then you got the max release speed, because that's one of the best things they did for bigs this year, where you can have pretty much very quick on any build, and then 30-70. That's the jump shot for the build. Now, last but not least, this is probably the most underrated jump shot in the game for bigs. This is really, really good. Jabari Smith Jr., Michael Porter Jr., G.G. Jackson with a notch above on push with max release speed 65-35. You can go 70-30, you can go 75-25. Really, the blending, you can do it more so to how you want to do it on this one, but for the most part, I do use 35-65, and that is, in my opinion, is really, if you want to have a high timing stability, this is the one I probably prefer out of all the rest. But let's go over some other bases that I'm probably not going to cover in the video in terms of showing it on the screen. Like I already showed you guys, Bismack Biyombo, Jonathan Isaac, Jabari Smith. But Mike Muscala, very good. Zeke Naji, that's actually a kind of lower rating requirement one. You can kind of pick up on that. Isaiah Roby is another one that's a little bit on the lower end. So out of 6, I'm telling you guys, 3 of them are pretty much low rating. But you also got the MPJs, obviously, the Kevin Durant's, the Davis Bertans. But for the most part, those are the bases I personally would recommend. Let me make sure I cover everything. David Robinson, Chris Bosh, Paolo Banchero, Dwight Powell. Hopping into it, the best go-to shots in the game. Now, we're going to go over all these animations for every single build, whether it's guards, swings, or bigs. In my opinion, the best go-to shots in the game for guards is CJ McCollum and Ja Morant, personally. Now, there's other ones that obviously you can use, but those two are my favorite ones in the games for guards. Now, another one that's actually very good is Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry is actually very good as well. But in my opinion, I like the McCollum because it goes forward. So if you really want to shoot off yours, I think CJ McCollum is good for creating a good open look for you. And Ja Morant, if you really just want to use yours to dribble, I think Ja Morant is very good because it's very quick and it's really, really tough to stay in front of just in general, because that's just how go-to shots work. Now, yeah, that's just what I say for the guards. Now, when it comes to the swings, it's a little bit more interesting for the swing. All right, so for the go-to shots for the swings, in my opinion, the best one in the game is Bryce Sensabaugh. Bryce Sensabaugh is kind of like the CJ McCollum alternative that you kind of get for the swings. That's kind of the best one. Is it as good as CJ McCollum in my opinion? No, but it kind of is the alternative. Now, Devin Vassell is kind of like the Ja Morant alternative, where it kind of is similar to, well, this one is kind of more similar to CJ McCollum as well, honestly. But yeah, it's just what it is. It just had that little slow step back, but it's very fast to start up, and it really is tough to like stay in front of, and you can dribble in and out of it very easily. Do I think you should shoot off of it because it had that slow step back? Probably not, because it is slow and it's gonna be easy to recover off of, to be honest. Now, another solid one for the swings, because I don't think there's just not two by far best ones. Kevin Porter is also very solid. Tyrese Halliburton is also very solid. Dylan Brooks, Branham, LaMelo, and then you got like the trifecta of Jimmy, Paul George, KD that is very, very popular for a reason. So yeah, those are the go-to shots I personally would recommend for the swings. And then if you're a big, Pascal Siakam, Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Those are the ones I personally would probably, or you can't even, oh no, I was gonna say you can't use KD as a big. You can use KD as a big, KD and Embiid. Those are the ones I personally would recommend. Paolo, I believe, does have one. Paolo as well. So I would say Pascal Siakam, Paolo, and then Embiid probably would be the best one, or KD, obviously. So yeah, that's the go-to shots for guards, swings, and bigs. All right, next is the dribble pull-up. Now, dribble pull-up, in my opinion, you can go with normal 2 and pro 2 and you'll be fine for any build. But let's go deeper. So normal 2, pro 2, you can use this on pretty much guards, swings, and bigs. Bigs, you don't get pro 2, you still get normal 2. But you get pretty much those 2 on any build pretty much, except for pro 2 on bigs. Make sure that's covered. Now, when it comes to the ones that's actually pretty solid as a guard, I would say Stephen Curry. I would say a lot of people in my comments be saying Devin Booker. I don't personally like Devin Booker, but I'll throw it in the video for y'all. But yeah, Devin Booker. I think Cam Thomas is definitely up there. Ben McLemore is definitely up there for the guards. And personally, after that, I already said Stephen Curry. I already threw Devin Booker in there for the people that be complaining about that. That's probably the dribble pull-ups I personally would recommend for the guards. I use pro 2 on my guards. It's just what that is. Then when it comes to the swings, you still got your normal 2, pro 2. But then I think you still can use D-Book. I know you can use Kobe. Kobe Bryant is really solid. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is one that y'all be throwing in there. That's actually a good one. It's just not as good as Kobe. And MJ, to me, MJ is another very, very solid dribble pull-up that you can use. And honestly, that would be all the ones I would personally recommend or use for the swings. Then when it comes to the bigs, I'm not gonna lie, you don't really have much. In my opinion, you just got normal 2. I think Bam is good, but I believe that's a starter 4. And you got KD. Now, there's some other ones that you can use, but they only useful for like going one way. So you know how they got a different fade for left and right? Some of them fades are only really useful for going one way. And that's kind of why I like Pro 2 so much, because it's not only similar going left and right, but they're very good going left and right. I think normal 2 is very good going left and right. It's just completely different fades going left and right. So that's probably the one I personally would recommend the most for bigs, but you can use KD, Bam, and Pro 2. Or not Pro 2, normal 2. All right, and I'm not forgetting it no more. I'm not forgetting it no more. Shout out to the comments. Y'all be putting this in the comments so much. So even if I miss something, make sure to check the comments. They be having it. They be having it if I do. Now, for the dribble pull-up, one last one, Chris Paul, one of the best ones in the entire game. You only need an 82. You only can use it on guards, but it is one of the best ones in the entire game. I won't be forgetting this one ever again. And then for the spin jumpers, in my opinion, it's kind of similar to what I was saying for the dribble pull-ups, normal and pro. You can't use pro if you're big. Normal is just very all around. Now, if you're a guard, you actually get a lot. You get the Kyrie Irving, that's very good. You get the Stephen Curry, that's very good. I'm not gonna lie, it's a couple really solid ones for guards, like Devin Booker, De'Aaron Fox. The only reason I don't really like those 2 is because they do step in, but they're still good. Allen Iverson is really like flashy, so yeah. And then Jamal Murray is actually pretty solid, but the best one in the game for guards probably is Kyrie. Russell Westbrook is even pretty solid. Trae Young is okay. I probably would say Kyrie Irving is the best one in the game for guards. That's what I've been using lately on my guard. Now for swings, you don't really get as much, in my opinion. I think you got pro, normal, and I probably would just use pro, to be honest. I think pro is probably after Kyrie. I probably would rather that, especially if you're not like a real shot creator. You're just using it to like throw somebody off. I probably would say that, but you can still use D-Book. You can use Luka, but that's definitely a travel and it's really slow. So that's just what I say about it. And then after that, you got Kyle Kuzma, which is also pretty solid, similar to some of those all guards, but it's not as fast, I would say. Devin Vassell is an okay one. I think this one is like kind of like a De'Aaron Fox, but it's slower. And those are the ones I personally would recommend, and I would probably just go with pro. And then you got the bigs. The bigs don't really have much at all. Normal is not as good in my opinion as it's been in previous years. So you got normal, but it's not as good as it's been in previous years. You got Kevin Durant. You got Dirk Nowitzki. That's pretty much it. So you're going to have to go with normal, KD, or Dirk. I probably would go with KD out of those options personally, but that's the spin jumpers for 2K25. And then for the hop jumpers, I'm not going to lie. Hop jumpers, you got a lot. Hop jumpers can do so much with it. You can shoot off of it. You can dribble combo with it. You can get ankles with it. You can, it's so much you can do. You can speed boost out of it. It's so much you can do with hop jumpers in this game. I'm not gonna lie, because of the shot cancel stuff that they added within this game. But hop jumpers, I probably would say normal 2 is up there. Devin Booker is okay. I don't think it's in that tier. Jordan Clarkson is good for combo and steal, but it's not the best in my opinion for combo. Like, if you know what you're doing with it, you're gonna be fine with it, but it's okay. I think there's some that you can get more out of. But yeah, that animation right there that you're seeing is probably what you really be trying to get out of the Jordan Clarkson when you try to do the combo. And then to go alongside the Jordan Clarkson, De'Aaron Fox is pretty popular now. De'Aaron Fox is a very good hop jumper. To go alongside De'Aaron Fox, I think after De'Aaron Fox, I would definitely have to mention Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is very, very good. That's one of the best hop jumpers for like dribbling, just in general. Davion Mitchell is pretty solid as well, in my opinion. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I guess, Trae Young is very good. Trae Young is actually like the all-around hop jumper. Like, if you want to shoot out of it, you want to do a jump, you want to shoot out of it, combo, speed boost, create separation, any of that stuff, Trae Young is very good. Another one that's very good for all that, like I said, for Trae Young, is James Harden. James Harden is a very well-rounded one as well. Now, when it comes to swings, Harden, in my opinion, is the one I personally recommend the most. You still got Jordan Clarkson as an option. To be honest, though, after those two, it is a drop-off. Normal 2 is pretty solid still. Tyler Hero, Devin Vassell ain't bad, to be honest, especially for if you want to use it in a certain way to create space. But I personally would probably recommend the Harden, the Clarkson, and the normal 2 the most, personally. So that's what I'll say. Now, when it comes to the bigs, you really got normal 2. I'm not gonna lie, Jokic is pretty good. Jokic, Siakam, Dirk, KD, those are the ones I probably would recommend. Jokic one leg, bro, I'm not gonna lie. It's one, if you know how to shoot off of it, it's one of the most broken ones in the entire game. That's just what it is. If you know how to shoot off of it, it's one of the most broken ones in the entire game, because it's fast, it creates space, and it's like the only one in the game that shoots off one leg every time. So it's like, I don't know what it is, but you don't really get contested with it as much. But if you want to, the best one to shoot off of, in my opinion, by far, is Dirk. Dirk Nowitzki is gonna create space, and you're really gonna get contested with it, and you're gonna be able to have a really smooth one to shoot off of. The reason why I say Jokic, if you can shoot off of, is because it's a little bit harder to shoot off that compared to the Dirk, the KD, and the normal 2. But those are the ones I personally recommend, and Pascal Siakam for bigs. But yeah. All right, next is a dribble style. I'm not gonna cap. Dribble style, best dribble styles in the game. Darius Garland has grown on me to the point where I did the video testing them, but I'm not gonna lie. It was like, I tested them, but I was just learning how to use all of the dribble styles and then trying to pretty much use them. I've kind of gotten used to Darius Garland to the point that now it might be my favorite dribble style in the game now. I'm not even gonna lie. But that's not to say De'Aaron Fox is still not arguably the best dribble style in the game. That's still not to say that DeJounte Murray is still not the best dribble style in the game. I think that all 3 are debatable. I said that at the time. I'm saying that again now. It's just, to be honest with you, bro, Darius Garland, I'm honestly just much more comfortable with it now than I was before. So I say, I'll probably go Darius Garland 1, De'Aaron Fox 2, DeJounte Murray 3. After that, I would probably go Zion, to be honest, because bigs, you don't really have much, and then swings, you can also use this. And then to throw you guys some extra ones, I guess I'll say Kobe White is very good, Shea is very good, Damian Lillard is actually like a similar one to Darius Garland, but it's easy to go both ways. It's just not as good in my opinion. And you also got stuff like Wembanyama, Kyrie Irving, Trae Young, and Giannis. And those are the only dribble styles I'm gonna really go over in this video. I know I tested every single one of these. If you want to see me rank every single dribble style in the order that they should go in, go watch that. Simple as that. All right, next is the signature size up. The best signature size ups in the game is 2 that you really got to look at: Trae Young and Steve Francis. In my opinion, I feel like Trae Young and Steve Francis are in the same tier. So I personally don't even recommend people go 95 just to be able to get Steve Francis. But if Steve Francis is by far the best one to you, by all means do that. That is obvious, arguably the best one in the game. A lot of people think it is the best one in the game. I probably do think it's the best one in the game. I just don't think it's worth the 95, to be honest. But I think Trae Young is just as good. And Trae Young, you only need 92, and you can get 90. You get a lot of other stuff with just 92. So yeah, I do think that those are the two best ones in the game. Now, when it comes to stuff below that tier is when it gets a little weird, because I don't really like a lot of ones under that. You got stuff like Drew Holiday, you got stuff like Derrick Rose, you got stuff like D Wade, you got stuff like Darius Garland, you got stuff like De'Aaron Fox. But in my opinion, I'm not really too big on a lot of these. Now, when it comes to stuff for like swings, I guess, you got the Cade Cunningham, you got the Zach LaVines. You can't use D Rose on swings, no. So yeah, those probably the ones I probably would recommend the most. I guess Penny too, because you can use Penny. But for yeah, those are the ones I probably would recommend. And then when it comes to, I guess, bigs, I guess you got like Pro, KD, and I really wouldn't really recommend anything else. I guess Ben Simmons, but yeah, I really wouldn't recommend anything else, to be honest. Next is the regular breakdown combo. Now, regular breakdown combo, in my opinion, you got the best. I think Rafer Alston is the best one in the game. That's just me. Then you got stuff like Penny Hardaway, Tim Hardaway. You got stuff like Scoot Henderson. You got stuff like Stephon Marbury. If you're a swing, Jalen Green is another solid one. I think you can also use Penny Hardaway. You can't use Tim, I don't think. Yeah, so yeah, I guess Penny. So yeah, that's what I say. Jason Tatum is actually a solid one for swings as well. Bigs, you don't really have much. You only really can go Pro or KD. That's gonna be kind of the thing for pretty much any animation. That's a dribble animation, to be honest, for bigs. That's just what it is. Then next, the aggressive breakdown combo. Rafer Alston, again, in my opinion, the best one in the game. If you want something very similar to Rafer Alston and not have to have that high rating, John Morant is pretty much the same thing. Jordan Poole is very good. Terry Rozier is very good. Stephon Marbury is very good. Reggie Jackson is very good. A lot of these are very, very good that you use for guards, but I personally just recommend what I said to start. And then when it comes to swings, personally, I would say Kobe White, Jason Tatum. A lot of people like using Michael Jordan. I don't personally like it that much. Brandon Ingram is alright. But for the most part, that's what it is for swings. And then for bigs, you got KD and Pro. It's pretty much that simple, and it's going to be kind of consistent throughout this video for bigs. All right, next is the escape moves. In my opinion, the best escape moves is Stephen Curry. Another good one is Trae Young. I don't think it's quite on the same level, but I do like Trae Young, so Trae Young is good. Kemba Walker is good. Damian Lillard is very good, so that would be probably my next tier, the Dame and the Kemba and the Trae, to be honest. And then after that, I probably would have to say we will get more into the swings at that point, but Allen Iverson isn't bad. Kyrie Irving isn't bad at all. Darius Garland isn't bad, but yeah, I would probably go to the swings after that. So then for the swings, personally, I would probably say Paul George is by far the best. I'm not gonna lie. If you lab up to Paul George, yeah, it's the best one in my opinion to me. But then you got stuff like Zach LaVine, LeBron, which are also okay, but they're not LaVine. You got the KDs, the Jimmys, and stuff like that. And then when it comes to the bigs, you got the KDs, the pros. Simple. All right, next is the combo moves. Combo moves, you got a lot you can go through. You can go Stephen Curry, James Harden, in my opinion, is my favorite one. De'Aaron Fox is also solid. Tim Hardaway is solid. Devin Booker is solid. Now, for swings, you really got Devin Booker, James Harden, KD. If you're big, you got KD and Pro. It really just comes down to that and that alone. Combo moves is just combo moves. Is exactly what it says. All right, next is the crossovers. In my opinion, the best crossover in the game. I think I've seen somebody say Chris Paul had the best crossover in the game or something like that. So shout out to the people that were saying that. So if you really do want a lower rating one, Chris Paul is good. But in my opinion, the best two in the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best one, and you only can get it on bigs. The second best one is De'Aaron Fox. Chris Paul is very good. Luka Doncic very good. Zach LaVine very good. But if you are not trying to just do the little cross, to be honest, Kyrie Irving, very, 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 very good. If you're a swing, Paul George, very, very good in my opinion as well. And if you're big, you already know what I'm gonna say. Really, just Giannis. You don't even have to do KD, to be honest. So actually, never mind. And then for the crossover, I'm not forgetting this one ever again either. I'm not gonna lie. Black Star is the person I know be saying it every time, but it be other people too. I on the CP3 Dribble Pull, it be a different person every single time. So I don't really know who to shout out on that. But Black Star, shout out to bro. He be going crazy. He be going crazy on me about LaMelo Ball crossover. So LaMelo Ball, De'Aaron Fox, Giannis are the top of the line. So like LaMelo, if you're a swing, in my opinion, that'd be the best. You could also use it if you're a guard with like De'Aaron Fox, but it's also up there with Giannis. So yeah, Giannis only can be used on big. So yeah, that's the best crossovers in the game. Next is behind the back. The behind the backs, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Best behind the backs in the game. I think Trae Young and Kawhi Leonard. Now, the reason why I'm not using Trae Young on my build anymore is because it's not balanced enough for me, to be honest. Like, I like the Tyrese Halliburton. It's actually kind of underrated. The only thing is the explosive behind the back is slow, but it does kind of do the same purpose of like going backwards and creating space for you, but it is slow. But you do have a good moving behind the back with it. So it's like, in my opinion, right now, it's the most balanced one. Now, with that being said, I do still think Trae Young probably does have the best explosive behind the back in the game. Kawhi Leonard has the best explosive behind the back in the game. I just don't really personally like the moving behind the back, and I can't use Kawhi Leonard on a guard. It's kind of simple as that. Now, to go alongside that, honestly, you got stuff like Markelle Fultz as well. If you're big, you probably only gonna really be using KD and Pro. But for the most part, that's the best behind the backs in the game. Simple as that. Next is the best spin. Best spin, Ja Morant, Penny Hardaway, Luka, Stephen Curry, Pro. If you're big, you can go KD, Embiid, Towns, and Pro, but that's just what it is, in my opinion. Hezzy, in my opinion, the best one in the game is Ja. If you're not a guard, I guess you can use Tyrese Halliburton if you swing. It's okay. You also can go Pro. For bigs, I guess Paolo Banchero, KD, Pro. Simple as that. Actually, for us, you can also go normal. Normal is actually not awful, but I'm gonna be honest, it's a big gap after Ja Morant, in my personal opinion. Next is the stat backs. I'm not gonna lie, it's some underrated stat backs in the game, bro. I'm not gonna even cap to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Low key, stat backs low key could be what I rank next to. I didn't even think about that. Stat backs actually got some stuff to it, but in my opinion, the best one is the way that everybody likes to play with the little just regular step back, where it's Zach LaVine, Luka Doncic. You're trying to create as much space as possible. I would also throw Devin Booker in there as well. But there's some actual underrated ones that like really, really good. Like I always talk about the Tyrese Halliburton and the Trae, but the Stephen Curry is very similar in terms of trying to take ankles. Very similar. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Stephen Curry is as smooth. It low-key is smooth, to be honest. It's just like it's a longer animation. That's what I'll say. But I got a new one. The De'Aaron Fox, where it's like an actual hop jumper animation, is nasty. I'm not gonna lie. If you can master De'Aaron Fox, you're hooping. You're hooping. But to go alongside that, the Kyrie Irving, I'm not gonna lie. The Kyrie Irving and De'Aaron Fox in the right hands, oh my goodness, they gonna be. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Out of all the step backs in terms of combinations with it, I feel like these are the two best. Like, I feel like there's ones for creating space to shoot off of. I feel like there's ones to like take ankles. You can take ankles, shoot off these, and you can combine everything with your dribble animations with it. You can put these within your dribble moves. You can speed boost in and out. Bro, I'm telling you, Kyrie Irving, De'Aaron Fox, they're actually super nice. Super nice. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna leave it at. And for the triple threat style, the best one in the game is hands down Michael Jordan. It's simple as that. I don't know why I don't have it on, but Michael Jordan, in my opinion, is by far the best. All these that I have on are pretty solid, but Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. Simple as that. All right, next is getting to the best dunk packages in the game. Now, y'all be having some interesting opinions on dunks. We gonna go over them though. Contact dunks. First things first, I guess we'll start it here, since it's the first thing that's on the screen for the most part. In this game, they supposedly buffed the dunk meter. I would just pretty much put on as many of the dunk packages as you possibly can. The more dunk packages you have, the more animation you have for wherever you're coming from and where the person you're dunking on is coming from. So you'll have more contact dunks for more situations, so you'll be able to get more to pop even when you're not doing dunk meter. When you're doing dunk meter, this, that, and the third. And this build has a 99, and I'm still saying that. I usually would just put on the elite, and that still works, but that's just what I personally would recommend at this point of me making this video. Now, when it comes to the dunk packages, I personally would actually put on, outside of contact dunks, quick drops off one. If you don't have quick drops off one on, in my opinion, I feel like you're trolling or you're just not starter 4. You do have to be starter 4 to get quick drops off one, so that is part of it. If you can't get starter 4, athletic hangs off one, but athletic hangs off one might be better because it does take off from further. I will say you do tend to miss this more. Maybe not blocked, but you do tend to miss this more. And you can get the quick drops off one to trigger more efficiently. So it does come down to that. But 80, 60, 65, 45, it pretty much is cheaper as well. So yeah, in my opinion, those are the best two hands for safety dunk packages in the entire game. Now, when it comes to having a one hand, I'm not gonna lie, I've been using switcheroo. Switcheroo is actually probably the best one hand dunk package in the game. I don't get blocked on this at all. Like, it's no situation I really get blocked on this now. So I would say one hand, I would definitely say switcheroo. If you want to go with a different one, Russell Westbrook, LeBron, Malik Monk are also very good. These are all different ones. So if you're a guard in swing, you can use Russell Westbrook. If you're a guard, you can use Malik Monk. Nobody else can. If you're big in swing, you can use LeBron. Guards can't get LeBron. So those are all really good one hand. It just, some of these dunks packages have bad animations within them. So I personally don't really like using them that much. So that's just what it is. Now, another one that you can actually use if you're a big, that's actually good for an NBA player, in my opinion, I don't even see him, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has some of the best standing dunk animations in the game. They're all so fast, all so sweet, and that's just personally what I say to go with when it comes to this, the dunk packages in terms of the NBA. Only reason I don't really like using these is because they have so many animations within one package, so there's going to be some bad animations in them. It's just that simple. So there are some other solid ones like Giannis, Vince Carter, Dwight Howard, but there's some bad animations in there that just kind of keeps me away from recommending them. But to go alongside that, Klay Thompson is also a very good one. If you have like a lower rating build, Klay Thompson is a very, very good dunk package to have if you're a swing or a guard. Now, when it comes to the big man dunks, in my opinion, two hands for safety, two hand under basket regular. That's all I really put on for the most part. You see me put on 40 standing dunk for a lot of my builds. This is kind of what I be trying to get. Now, another one that you also could try to go for is pro under basket rim pulls. That's another one that I think is very solid. But for the most part, I do go two hand under basket regular. And everything I said for contact dunks goes for the big man contact dunks, but even more tenfold in my opinion, because you're not going to be doing standing dunk meter dunks as much as you would do driving dunk. So it just makes a lot more sense in my opinion. I don't know why, but Terry Rozier is as tall as me, and I'm 6'5" here, or 6'4" here, and Terry Rozier is not over 6'1". But he might be on 2K, I guess. Bro, look at least 6'6" right there. But shout out to 2K. Then when it comes to alley-oops, it really does come down to what you have. If you anything but a big, you can use all three of them. Pro is more so for the standings. Elite and Zion is just higher rated. So if you can put them on, I will put them on. But Pro, if you're big, you need this on. It doesn't really matter outside of a big. I guess Lock you can put this on, because Locks, I guess, do standing dunks too for lobs. But for the most part, all three of these have their own set reasons. These are more so like flashy and like cutting and driving or moving. This is more so if you're like standing still at the block, you need this on. Contact alley-oops, like I said, for the contact dunks, but even more tenfold because there's no dunk meter. You can control it if you know how to pass it, but you're not going to be the one passing it. You're going to be the one receiving it, so you have no control over what they're doing. All you can do really is just run the right routes. But for the most part, I will put them all on so you can have more contact dunks for any situation. So pretty much you're going to have more animations for more situations depending on where you're coming from and where the defender you're dunking on is coming from. Simple as that. And then when it comes to city park dunks, I guess, whichever, I don't really put these on as much. I really just put on the alley-oops, and that's just what it is, in my opinion, for the best dunk packages in the game. All right, so let's hop into it. Best layup packages in the game. When it comes to the guards, very simple for me now. I'm not gonna lie. At one point, I was saying Malik Monk, Kyrie Irving, Jordan Poole, all in the same tier. I still think the other two are very good, but Malik Monk, in my opinion, is the best. You get contested at least. You want to double clutch around people. You make it the most. I even think that the requirement maybe. Oh no, Jordan Poole has the lowest requirement. But Malik Monk, in my opinion, for guards, is the best layup package in the game. That doesn't mean those three are the only one. Like, you got other ones like Maxey as well. That's pretty solid. But in my opinion, Malik Monk is by far and away the best guard layup package in the game. Next, a lot of people was saying this in my comments below. For the swings, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander reminds me of some of these guard animations, but you can use it on swings, but you cannot get it on guard. Well, I guess you can use it on guards too, but it's really more so like a really good one for swings that you can also use on guards, where a lot of the guards you can't use on swings. So yeah, Shai, very, very good. In my opinion, I think LeBron actually kind of got surpassed with Malik Monk now, but LeBron is still arguably the best one in the game. So you still got LeBron, in my opinion, And it pretty much is kind of that simple. Shea, LeBron, Kawhi is also really solid. And that's the ones I personally recommend for the swings. 6'5", 6'9". When I said guards, I was saying 6'4" and under. I know I didn't say that, but now I am. Then for the bigs, the best layup packages in the game for bigs, it really does come down to what you want to play like. If you're a post scorer, I would say Zion. Zion is very, very good. It goes straight to the. It got something that goes straight to the rim, but it also got all the pretty much the clear out animations. I tried out the Victor because I tested all the layup packages at the end of season 3, so that's why I wasn't as hip to some of these like the Shea. But it's too slow to me, so that's what it is. A very underrated one for bigs is still Sabonis in my. No, not Sabonis. Vucevic. Vucevic is the one that's very underrated. Very, very quick animations. Really good floaters and all that type of stuff. So if you don't have like a lot of dunk, you do a lot of close shots, Vucevic is very, very good. But I still would say Zion. It probably go order Vucevic, Zion. Last but not least for the bigs, Giannis Antetokounmpo, which is now the long athlete, but also has a lot of like Giannis layup animations, which are all very, very good. And that, in my opinion, are the best layup packages, layup animations, and NBA 2K25 for every build. So we back with another video. Today we got y'all boys with the best dribble animations. We're gonna give y'all all the best animations going all the way from the top to the bottom. Now I'm gonna hit at the next ranking animation video. We just did the dribble styles. I did the layups. I did the jump shots. We're trying to get to the next one. If I don't come up with the next one, it may not be no more, because I'm not gonna lie, the 3 we did was low-key perfect, to be real. But I'm gonna hit at what I may do next in this video. Y'all do want more animation videos like this, make sure to keep showing the support by liking the video. Subscribe if you're new. We're gonna go over the best dribble animations in the game for guards, big swings, all in this one video. Further ado though, no more talking. Let's hop into it. Alright, so hopping into it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. We finna go over the pass styles. Now, I told you I was gonna hint at what we was gonna do for the next ranking series. It can go from pass style, it can go dribble pull up, it can go hop jumper. I don't know what to do. I feel like the ones that we did was pretty much auto, but I don't know which one of these people are interested in seeing being ranked in order, or how important these are to be ranked in order as well. Because pass style is pretty important, layup style is pretty important, and jump shots is pretty important. So y'all let me know. But when it comes to the best pass styles in the game, I've kind of went over this a couple different times, but I'm gonna do it in the tiers. So the first tier, in my opinion, is none. Now, only thing I have an issue with on none is literally the catches. You pretty much get bad catches from your teammates, so that's just what it is. But in terms of, I don't think there's really much to go off of after this tier, too much. So I like to say none is the first tier by far, by far. But I'm gonna actually have another tier in between from what I usually do. Next tier, LaMelo Ball, and Donovan Mitchell though. You can go with both at the next tier where you get an 84. Some people be telling me LeBron. I don't really personally like LeBron's though, so that's just what it is. But yeah, Donovan Mitchell, LaMelo Ball. Then the next tier, Tyrese Halliburton. That would be my honest last tier for me, for the stuff I've used. I tried the Shea. I tried a little bit of Luka and Darius Garland. Didn't try them nearly as much as I tried the Shea though, to be real with you, because I really made that build strictly to try the Shea. But somebody in my comments actually told me Chris Paul. So I haven't tried Chris Paul. So there might be some better than the ones after Tyrese. But in my opinion, Tyrese Halliburton, based off the bang for your buck, is the best pass down in the game, because I think 89, honestly, I don't really feel the importance of going above it from when I was testing the 96. But by all means, if you do think there's something better, let me know in the comments down below. Now, when it comes to the post phase, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even gonna make y'all wait on this one. Post phase, I'm gonna be honest, the post animations, we're gonna go over all this real quick. Post fade, in my opinion, you can go a lot of different ways. You can go quick with it, with Vucevic, where it's quick and smooth. You got Siakam, where it's smooth, but it's a little bit slower. Dirk is Dirk, it gotta be, come on now. Then if you want something similar to like the Kobe MJ fade, I think the Kobe MJ fade, the closest you're gonna get to it is KD this year. They have a Kobe one, they have a, I don't know if they have an MJ one, but I know they have a Kobe or MJ one, and it's not as good as it's been in the past, and KD is the one I use if I'm doing a post fade, so that's why you see I have KD equipped. But Luka is also very good, Anthony Davis is also very good, and Pro. Those are the ones I personally would recommend for the post phase. And then alright, for the post hooks, the post hook, in my opinion, the best one in the game is Embiid. I Apparently they buffed them. When I did the badge video, I didn't get to test it out, so I just had to put that where I thought it was gonna be if they buffed them. But apparently people on the badge video were still saying it was bad. Now I don't know if that's just my community. I don't know if y'all just be making post scores and y'all are post scores and salty that post scoring is not broken in terms of post hooks. I don't know. But yeah, I was testing it. It's not that good. I'm not gonna lie. But so post hooks, what it is. But the best one in the game for me, Joel Embiid. But I don't really think that a lot of people using this. I'm just giving y'all this. It's just kind of like some of them dribble moves that a lot of people don't use. It's just what it is. Post hop shot. Best one in the game in my opinion is Anthony Davis. Can't use Kobe obviously, but Anthony Davis may be the best one in the game in general. But yeah, Anthony Davis best post hop shot. It's not that many options, but yeah, Anthony Davis is the one I personally would recommend. All right, so first things first is going to be motion style. Now I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people kind of underrate the motion style, but motion style is gonna be making it how fast you are on offense and how fast you are on defense. Now this year, y'all be telling me in the comments down below a lot that it does change depending on offense and defense. I'll be confused what y'all be talking about, I'm gonna be honest, but I had to do my own little research and y'all were right. Apparently there's some that's better on offense and some that's better on defense. Now, Jalen Suggs, I've been telling y'all for a time, best one in the game, but that's more so for defense. Alex Caruso is better for offense. Now, I was kind of trying to understand what y'all meant. I now know. Now, in terms of offense, Alex Caruso is probably the fastest one. Jalen Suggs is probably the fastest one. But if you want a balance of speed for both sides, Austin Reeves is actually very good as well. So those are the best motion styles in the game for guards. All right, and for all my people that be in the chat, the comments, bro, I do appreciate y'all boys. If I get anything wrong, the comments gonna always help me. I do a lot of work, put a lot of research, put a lot of time into making these animation videos for y'all. And I'm not gonna be perfect. A lot of this is just my opinion. But some people actually test this stuff, and I guess for the actual numbers, I test this stuff and I come off my opinion off of it. Some people actually like go in there with the numbers. But for the motion styles, it's one of those things that you can literally go in and test and see which ones is the fastest. So for the guards, it's some new stuff because I didn't see y'all saying anything else. But Bradley Beal is supposedly the number 2. It's really good for offense and defense, but it is different. It does matter for offense and defense. And then another one that a lot of people say that is very balanced. I've seen it so many times on my videos. Theo Maledon. So if there's anything to help, put it in the comments down below. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments down below. I don't care how stupid y'all say I am. If y'all correct me on something, I do appreciate that. It only helps people. That's all I'm doing these videos for, is to help people. So I do appreciate y'all boys. And I did make sure to put these in the video this time. So yeah, hopping into it. First things first, motion style. Motion style for swings, in my opinion, the best ones in the game. You can use a lot of the ones that you can use on guards, but the best ones, in my opinion, Drew Eubanks. You can say this is the best one for bigs. You can also say it's the best one for swings. Drew Eubanks. The next best one, Kawhi. Now, I went over this in the guard video. I didn't understand what y'all meant by it's 2 different ways of how it works for defense and offense. There's going to be better ones for defense, better for offense. Now, I knew there was ones that was better for defense because of lateral quickness and stuff like that. Some just has defensive stances and motions and all that. But when you're just running up and down the court, it's just faster defensively than it is offensively on this game. That's just how 2K made it with the motion styles. So when you do choose a motion style, there's going to be certain motion styles that's faster defensively, but that's not that fast or not in the top tier of fast offensively. But Drew Eubanks, Kawhi Leonard are 2 very balanced ones. You can still use Jalen Suggs, but in my opinion, I would use the other 2. And I would honestly say Kawhi Leonard is the best one for swings because it does have also the defensive stances and the defensive motions, while it's also very fast offensively and defensively. Hopping straight into it, motion styles. Best motion styles for big men. Now, doing research. Shout out to 2K2s. Y'all put me on to the stuff in the comments. 2K2s, I've known for a long time, has been really good with the facts. He did a little research on it. Sometimes it be a little inconsistent. Like one time he did a research on like the dribble styles and Luka. Yeah, that is like the most balanced one. That joint is terrible, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to motion styles for bigs, this should be really worth it. The best ones, in my opinion, Anthony Davis, Jaren Jackson. Now, if you want to have like defensive stance ones, you got Justice Winslow, but it's not nowhere near as fast as Jaren Jackson and Anthony Davis. And we talking about the difference of 0.05 tenths of a second. So those two I would say are the fastest, but if you want the most balanced one all around, Drew Eubanks. I say the same thing for swings on Drew Eubanks, but Anthony Davis, Jaren Jackson are the two ones I would personally recommend for the bigs. But yeah, man, that's everything. That's every animation possible. Jump shots, motion styles, it doesn't matter. Everything and more in this video. Guard, swings, bigs, 5'9", 7'3". Doesn't matter. Went over everything in this video. Y'all do want more? Like the video. Put in the comments down below anything I missed. These videos just to help people. So if you can help people in the comments, anything you think. A lot of the stuff I'm saying is based off how I tested it, based off my opinion. But I'm sure there's other people with better, maybe good opinions. I don't know about better, but maybe good. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, that's the end of the video. If you haven't already liked the video, subscribe. Comment down below, help the algorithm, all that good stuff out the way. Share this video to anybody think would help or enjoy. Make sure you got notifications on. Further ado though, man, it's your boy Fitz. I'm out of here, man.
I got digital dash, came right with a I walk in the store and I buy the stock. I hide in the bins and pull out the lot. Got Tiffany diamond, it cost me a lot. They flying like birds.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!
If you buying anything on Fortnite, Epic Games Store, use code YaboiFitz. I don't know why I ain't been had this, but yeah.